So many people come to see me and they say they want to be happy, that they feel like happiness is something eluding their life and they have to pursue it in order to have it. The trouble with happiness, of course, is, as many of you know, I'm sure, happiness is an emotion, and emotions are not stable and they are not constant. Happiness is in flux. It rises and falls on a day-to-day basis, depending on a myriad of things. So I found in my life a much more sustainable thing to pursue is contentment. And contentment is the underlying sense of well-being in your life. If you have that feeling of well-being and contentment in your life, emotions rise and fall on top of that, but they're all underpinned by this general sense of contentment. In this video, I'm going to give you 6 things that you can apply to your life today that I promise you, if you do apply them, they will have a direct and immediate effect on your sense of contentment, and they will ground you in your life in a very, very profound way. Number 1 is record and share what you're grateful for. Something that I think more people should be doing is actually really considering. Some people write it down, some people just think at the end of the day about what they have to be grateful for. And it can be the tiniest of things. It can be the birds singing, it can be a lovely day on the beach, it can be a great cup of coffee. It doesn't matter what it is. It could be somebody very, very meaningful in your life that you're grateful for. But it is very, very important for your general sense of contentment to note those things and make a point of not only noting them to yourself, but sometimes it really helps to share that with someone else and actually say out loud what you're grateful for. Number 2 is stay true to yourself. I find often, especially working with young people, they're in a desperate hurry for their life to get on with stuff. And it is so important at any time in your life, but specifically when you're young, that you actually spend some time working out who you are. You cannot work out who you are by watching loads of YouTube channels and Instagram, etc. But you can find who you are by spending time alone in quietness, away from the digital world, preferably in nature, and actually really consider in that time of quietness what it is you are looking for in your life, what makes you tick. And by staying true to that core value within you, you'll find this sense of contentment will establish itself in your life. When you have, for example, a long-term goal about, I don't know, opening a business or traveling to Thailand, whatever it might be, that having that in your life and knowing that's what you are and what you want, you'll feel this sense of contentment. It doesn't matter if the goal is 3 years away or 5 years away, but knowing who you are and what you want from your life is very, very important. And the only way to discover that is in quietness alone. Number 3, this has been a lesson for me, is keep your loved ones close. I know that in my life, I've lived quite a fragmented life. I've lived in lots of different places, and there have definitely been times when the people that really matter to me, whether they are family or friends, have suffered and I've suffered too, because I've distanced myself in some way. And it's so important that you maintain and connect with the people in your life that really matter and that actually have your back, that you really, really trust. For me personally, I've found there's my family, obviously, and there's 1 or 2 people that I really know have my back. And it's very important that I maintain those relationships to give me a sense of contentment, that there are people around me that genuinely love me and not only have my back, but will also point out when I'm behaving like an idiot. That's useful too. Those are very, very useful things. So having people around you that you trust and that you know love you and like you is very important. You don't have to have many. You really don't. 1 or 2 is probably enough. I can count probably on one hand the people that I really trust in my life. Number 4 really relates back to what we were saying earlier about knowing who you are and knowing what you want with your life. Having established that and having established goals for your life, short term and long term, it is very important that you act on these goals. Whatever that goal might be, it could be saving for an emergency fund in your life. It could be going to Thailand. It could be learning about coffee. It doesn't matter what it is, but whatever that goal is, that you make actually actionable movement in your life towards that thing, that you do something about it. You don't just think about these things, you take action. And sometimes that's difficult. It means not scrolling through Instagram all night long or watching endless Netflix stuff. It means that you remove yourself in some way from those kind of habits and you replace them with other habits that get you towards your goal. This is really important. When you're taking incremental steps towards your goal, you'll find a sense of contentment, that you're actually moving towards the thing that you want and love in your life. Number 5, I think the older I get, the more important this is to me, is that I look after my health. You think, I mean, I did, like everybody else, you think you're invincible. Even though I spent lots of time in monasteries where it was endlessly explained to you that life is finite, that life doesn't last forever. Something about being young makes you feel immortal, and you get older and you realize, oh, I'm actually not immortal. I have to look after this body. So that's a long way round of saying you need to look after your health. You need to eat well. I often say it in these videos, but if you eat processed food, that is garbage. Anything in a packet is probably rubbish unless it's fresh. So if it's in your cupboard, get rid of it. Get rid of the cakes and the biscuits and the cookies and the scones, etc., etc. And eat whole foods. Eat beans, eat vegetables, eat fruit, eat eggs, eat nuts, etc. Meat if you have to. And if you have to eat meat, preferably organic. But clean your diet and also move your body. It doesn't matter what you do. Go for a walk, do some press-ups, but make sure you are physically active. There are unquestionably links between your physical state and your mental well-being. So being healthier and cleaner and drinking lots of water, all this stuff is really important part of feeling content. When you eat garbage, you feel like crap and you think rubbish as well. Eating clean food, you will feel much more wholesome in your life and in your body, and therefore you will feel content. It's as simple as that. Number 6 is a tricky one for a lot of us. It's let go of your past. I work with so many people who are hanging on to stuff that happened to them. I'm not saying that's not relevant. It often is extremely relevant to look at that stuff, but we can't hold on to it. This stuff, we can't continue to allow what happened to us or what we have done in our life that maybe we consider to be deeply questionable now. We all have that. There's all stuff we have in our life that maybe given a second chance, we do it differently. Well, we don't have an opportunity to change that, but we do have an opportunity to forgive ourselves and forgive others too. It's a massively important part of this process of finding contentment in your life, is to really cultivate a feeling of loving kindness towards yourself, in particular towards yourself, and towards others too. And that we break this endless cycle, this mental cycle, this running commentary on our mind that establishes again and again who we are and defines what we are in a very, very limited way. There are a number of techniques for dropping this. For some people, it's talking therapy. For other people, it's a meditation practice. But actually finding value in who you are right here and right now and dropping who you were in the past is key. Those are my 6 examples. For me, they were fundamental. They have been fundamental in my life, and they have changed me in terms of made me feel much more grounded and much more content with what I have. Maybe you have different things, or maybe what I've said really resonates. Either way, I would love to hear from you. And if you like what I'm doing, I would really appreciate it if you could like this video and subscribe to my channel. It makes a massive difference to me. Thanks, everybody.